Imagine a submarine lost at the height of the Cold War, its crew gone without a trace, and countless theories circulating about what really happened. Was it an accidental torpedo explosion, a Soviet attack, or a technical malfunction? In this video, we dive deep into the mysterious disappearance of the USS Scorpion, one of the United States' nuclear-powered submarines lost in 1968. Unravel the secrets that lie beneath the surface as we explore the Cold War tensions, the theories of Soviet involvement, and the chilling underwater wreckage that remains to this day. If you're into military history, war stories, or have a fascination with Cold War espionage, this story is one you won't want to miss. Get ready for a gripping journey into one of the darkest mysteries of the United States Navy. The USS Scorpion, a Skipjack-class nuclear-powered submarine, was a significant vessel in the U.S. Navy's fleet, playing an important role during the Cold War. Commissioned in 1960, the Scorpion took part in numerous naval exercises, operations, and covert missions. However, its mysterious disappearance in May 1968 remains one of the U.S. Navy's enduring tragedies. Let's explore the story of this submarine and the various theories about what led to its tragic fate. The Scorpion's keel was laid down in 1958 in Groton, Connecticut, at the General Dynamics Electric Boat Facility, and the submarine was launched in late 1959. It was commissioned under Commander Norman B. Basak in 1960. After her commissioning, the Scorpion quickly got to work, participating in exercises with the 6th Fleet and NATO navies across Europe. These exercises were crucial during the Cold War, as they helped maintain military readiness and demonstrate naval power to both allies and adversaries. For much of her career, the Scorpion's home port was Norfolk, Virginia, where she was actively involved in developing nuclear submarine warfare tactics, often switching roles between hunter and hunted. This kind of training was critical, as submarines played a major strategic role during the Cold War, providing a stealthy deterrence and surveillance capability. The Scorpion's activities also included covert operations. During the Cold War, the submarine became known for carrying out secret missions, including a notable mission in 1966 when it reportedly entered Russian waters to observe a missile launch. This daring mission highlighted the high-stakes nature of submarine operations during this period. Scorpion and her crew were constantly under threat, whether from the dangers of underwater navigation, mechanical issues, or potential confrontations with the Soviet Navy. By 1967, the Scorpion was due for a major overhaul. The submarine had already been in service for 7 years, and regular maintenance was essential to ensure its continued safe operation. However, due to Cold War pressures, the U.S. Navy decided to perform only minimal repairs instead of a complete overhaul. The goal was to reduce the time spent out of service and return the submarine to active duty quickly. Unfortunately, this decision had serious consequences. The submarine did not receive the essential subsafe safety improvements introduced after the loss of USS Thresher in 1963. Subsafe was a comprehensive program designed to enhance the safety of submarine operations, particularly focusing on hull integrity and emergency systems. Scorpion's refit was rushed, costing far less compared to other submarines undergoing similar overhauls at that time. The decision to cut corners on Scorpion's maintenance reflected the intense operational demands placed on the U.S. Navy's submarine fleet during the Cold War. The pressure to keep submarines like Scorpion on patrol and ready for action meant that safety sometimes took a back seat to expediency. This decision would later be scrutinized heavily in light of the submarine's tragic fate. In February 1968, Scorpion was deployed to the Mediterranean for operations with the 6th Fleet. This deployment was part of the ongoing effort to monitor Soviet naval activity and maintain a U.S. presence in strategic areas. The Mediterranean was a hotspot during the Cold War, with both NATO and Soviet forces vying for influence in the region. After completing her mission, Scorpion began her return to Norfolk in mid-May. However, things took a tragic turn as the submarine encountered several technical issues, including freon leaks from its refrigeration systems and a fire caused by a short circuit in an escape trunk. Despite these setbacks, Scorpion proceeded to observe Soviet naval activities around the Azores. On May 20, 1968, the submarine attempted to communicate with a U.S. Navy base in Spain, reporting its surveillance of a Soviet group. This would be the last contact with the submarine. On May 27th, Scorpion failed to arrive in Norfolk as scheduled, sparking an intense sea and air search involving dozens of ships and aircraft. The U.S. Navy launched a massive effort to locate the missing submarine, but despite these efforts, Scorpion and her crew were declared presumed lost in early June. The subsequent search for the wreckage was complex, relying on a combination of underwater sound recordings, mathematical models, and deep-sea exploration technology. In October 1968, the oceanographic research ship Mizar located the wreckage about 400 miles southwest of the Azores at a depth of over 9,800 feet. The discovery of the wreck provided some answers, but also raised new questions. The wreck showed significant damage. The bow section appeared to have skidded along the seafloor, creating a trench. The submarine's sail was dislodged, and the operations compartment showed extensive signs of implosion. Investigations by the Navy concluded that the submarine's hull was crushed by immense underwater pressure as it sank below its crush depth, with the engine room telescoping forward due to the collapse. The images and data collected from the wreck helped investigators piece together a likely sequence of events, but the exact cause of the loss remained elusive. The exact cause of the Scorpion's loss remains a mystery to this day. Several theories have been put forward over the years, each offering a different explanation for what might have happened. One prominent theory is that the submarine was sunk due to a hydrogen explosion, which could have occurred due to ventilation issues while charging the batteries. Hydrogen gas is a byproduct of charging lead-acid batteries, and without proper ventilation, it can accumulate and create an explosive hazard. This theory is supported by the fact that similar incidents had occurred on other submarines, though none with such catastrophic consequences. Another theory suggests that a torpedo malfunction was responsible for the disaster. The Mark 37 torpedo, which was carried by Scorpion, may have been accidentally activated and then targeted the submarine itself, leading to an internal explosion. This theory is particularly chilling, as it suggests that the submarine was effectively destroyed by one of its own weapons. There are also suggestions that a fire in the torpedo room caused a detonation. Fires on submarines are especially dangerous, as they can quickly lead to the failure of critical systems and the loss of the vessel. These theories have their advocates, but none have been definitively proven. Other theories venture into the realm of Cold War espionage and conflict. Some believe that Scorpion was involved in a confrontation with Soviet forces and was sunk as a result. According to this theory, the submarine may have been attempting to monitor Soviet naval activities when it was targeted and destroyed by Soviet vessels. This possibility has been supported by accounts of a Soviet naval group being present in the area during Scorpion's final patrol. The Cold War was a time of intense rivalry and frequent close encounters between U.S. and Soviet forces, and it is not beyond the realm of possibility that Scorpion fell victim to one such encounter. In addition to the official Navy inquiry, a later study by the Naval Ordnance Laboratory in 1970 analyzed underwater recordings from the time of Scorpion's loss. Their findings did not support the theory of an explosion, either internal or external. Instead, they concluded that the submarine likely imploded at great depth, causing it to break apart. This implosion theory is consistent with the wreck's observed damage, particularly the collapsed operations compartment and the telescoping of the engine room into the hull. The immense pressure at depths of nearly 10,000 feet would have caused the submarine's hull to collapse in a matter of milliseconds, leaving little chance for the crew to react. In 1984, previously classified documents related to the investigation were obtained by the press, revealing that one of the likely causes of the disaster was the detonation of a torpedo while the crew attempted to disarm it. These revelations fueled additional theories and debate regarding what happened aboard Scorpion. The declassification of documents in 1993 further complicated the picture, suggesting a range of potential causes for the submarine's demise. The lack of a definitive answer has left room for speculation, and the true cause of the tragedy may never be known with certainty. Despite extensive investigations, the exact sequence of events leading to the loss of USS Scorpion remains uncertain. While the implosion theory has gained significant support, many still consider the possibility of a torpedo malfunction or even external attack. Books such as Blind Man's Bluff and Scorpion Down have examined these theories in detail, suggesting that Cold War tensions and covert missions may have played a role in the tragedy. These books highlight the dangerous nature of submarine operations during this period, where the line between routine patrols and covert missions was often blurred. In November 2012, a group of U.S. Navy veterans called for the investigation into the loss of Scorpion to be reopened. They argued that new evidence might shed light on what happened and provide closure for the families of the lost crew members. However, the Navy declined to reopen the investigation, citing the extensive inquiries that had already been conducted. Today, the wreck lies on the ocean floor, largely undisturbed, except for periodic monitoring by the Navy to ensure that no radioactive materials have leaked from the reactor or torpedoes. The site serves as a somber reminder of the risks faced by those who serve in the silent service. The loss of USS Scorpion was a tragedy that had a profound impact on the U.S. Navy and its submarine force. The event highlighted the risks associated with submarine operations, particularly during the height of the Cold War. The rush to return submarines to service without proper safety measures and the ongoing tension between the United States and the Soviet Union may have contributed to the disaster. In the years that followed, the Navy took steps to improve submarine safety, including more rigorous maintenance protocols and the implementation of the SubSafe program across the fleet. The story of the USS Scorpion is not only a tale of a lost submarine, but also a reflection of the broader context of Cold War-era naval operations. The pressure to maintain a constant presence, the need for intelligence-gathering missions, and the competition between two superpowers all played a role in shaping the circumstances surrounding the submarine's final mission. Scorpion's disappearance underscores the dangers faced by submariners and the uncertainties inherent in operating in the deep ocean. The Cold War was a period of intense competition, and submarines like Scorpion were on the front lines of this struggle, often operating alone and in dangerous conditions. The theories about what happened to Scorpion remain as varied as they are compelling. The idea that a torpedo malfunction led to its loss is supported by the evidence of previous issues with similar torpedoes, while the hydrogen explosion theory fits the known risks of submarine battery operations. The suggestion that Scorpion was intentionally targeted by Soviet forces reflects the intense rivalry of the Cold War, and the idea of an espionage mission gone wrong is both intriguing and chilling. Each theory offers a different perspective on the risks faced by submariners during this period, and highlights the thin line between routine operations and disaster. The wreck of USS Scorpion has been visited a few times since its discovery, with photographs and video footage taken to document its condition. The submarine remains largely intact, though the hull is damaged, and sections of the vessel are scattered across the ocean floor. The U.S. Navy has periodically revisited the site to monitor for any environmental impact, particularly concerning the reactor and nuclear torpedoes aboard. So far, no significant radioactive leaks have been detected, and the wreck remains a solemn monument to those who lost their lives. The deep ocean is a harsh and unforgiving environment, and the wreck serves as a testament to the challenges faced by those who operate beneath the waves. The legacy of the USS Scorpion is one of bravery and mystery. The submarine and her crew served their country during a challenging period, conducting dangerous missions in the face of an unpredictable adversary. Their loss serves as a reminder of the perils of submarine warfare and the sacrifices made by those who operate beneath the waves. The unanswered questions surrounding Scorpion's disappearance only add to the mystique of this tragic event, keeping the memory of the crew alive as historians and enthusiasts continue to search for answers. The courage and dedication of the crew are emblematic of the broader sacrifices made by military personnel during the Cold War. The story of USS Scorpion is ultimately a human one, about the crew who lived and worked aboard the submarine, the families who waited for their return, and the investigators who sought to understand what went wrong. It is a story that brings together elements of history, technology, and the enduring mystery of the sea. Though we may never have all the answers, the legacy of USS Scorpion endures, reminding us of the challenges faced by those who serve beneath the ocean's surface and the costs of the Cold War's silent battles. The submarine's loss serves as a poignant reminder of the dangers inherent in military service, particularly in the unforgiving environment of the deep ocean. The families of the 99 crew members who perished aboard the Scorpion were left with grief, unanswered questions, and a sense of pride in the bravery of their loved ones. For these families, the loss was deeply personal, and the mystery surrounding the submarine's fate only added to their anguish. Over the years, reunions and memorial services have been held to honor the memory of the crew, providing a sense of community and shared remembrance for those who lost loved ones. The Navy has also worked to ensure that the crew's sacrifice. The legacy of the USS Scorpion is one of bravery, mystery, and sacrifice. As we reflect on the incredible challenges faced by her crew, we are reminded of the dangers inherent in submarine operations, especially during the high-stakes era of the Cold War. The unanswered questions surrounding her disappearance keep the story alive, prompting us to never forget the courage of those who serve beneath the waves. If you found this deep dive into the tragic story of USS Scorpion compelling, please consider subscribing for more fascinating military history stories, Cold War secrets, and submarine mysteries. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video to help others learn about this incredible chapter of naval history.